welcome to the National Aquarium. My name is Emily and I am back here at Blacktip Reef and we are getting ready to get started on our Blacktip Reef shark feeding. So if you'll follow me over here, we have Katie, who we've been seeing all week, and we're going to get started. So here in our bucket of food is what we're feeding the Blacktip Reef sharks today. So you can see we have some capelin, this is actually mahi fillet, and then we also have some squid in here as well. And these are usual favorites for our sharks. So in our large school of Blacktip Reef sharks that we have in this exhibit, we have actually trained them to target to this white buoy. So we hang the buoy in the water, the sharks touch it just like that one did, and then we give them a piece of food. It didn't take them too long to figure this out. It took about 2 months at the most, and it was mostly just slowly adding the buoy in and then having them associate buoy means food, and then we just slowly worked on getting them used to touching the buoy, and then when they would touch the buoy, they got the food. And the reason we use the buoy for the food is so all of the sharks come into the same area and we can get a good visual on them, and we know that they're eating, we know they're healthy. And Blacktip Reef sharks are actually extremely social sharks. So this means that they will work together and they will swim and cooperatively hunt together in their natural environment. So we can use this buoy to enforce its natural behaviors. Sometimes it takes them a bit to get going. Some days they eat really well, some days they don't eat really well. If you guys have any questions about our feeding or our Blacktip Reef sharks, you can go ahead and ask them and we will try and answer them.
So we have a couple of questions already coming in. The first one, people want to know, do deep sea sharks give birth to live young?
So it depends a little bit on the species of sharks, whether they are egg laying or giving live birth. A lot of sharks, like our Blacktip Reef sharks, will give birth to live young, and then other species like our zebra sharks will actually lay egg cases. So in terms of the deep sea sharks, most of the better known ones like your lantern sharks and your goblet sharks do give birth to live young, but there are probably some other species that will lay eggs. But there's a variety.
Another question we got, can sharks swim upside down?
So sharks like our Blacktip Reef sharks are pretty maneuverable. They can definitely make quick turns and movements. It's not normal behavior for them to swim upside down for a long period of time, but definitely if they're trying to catch a fish, they might make a quick upside down turn. Many species of sharks and rays, if they are upside down for a long amount of time, will go into something called tonic immobility, which is sometimes referred to as a hypnotic state. So basically their muscles will get really relaxed and they pretty much stop moving and they become a lot less responsive.
Someone else from Facebook wants to know, why do great whites leave their pups?
That's a good question. So when sharks are born, they are actually completely ready to take on the world and eat and live like a normal shark. They don't need any maternal care. They're born completely functional. So the mothers don't need to take care of the young. So they can easily, once they're born, swim and take care of themselves. So once they're born, the mother just leaves and lets the pups or the baby sharks just swim off into the wild and keep doing what they normally do.
So pivoting a little bit, someone else wants to know, do sharks have vocal cords?
So sharks do not have vocal cords. They don't really have any specialized organ for producing sounds, so they're generally very quiet.
All right, so a question that we get a lot, we've gotten all week. So experts say that when shark attacks happen, it's a case of mistaken identity. Is that something that you guys agree with? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we can agree with that. Humans are not a natural prey item of sharks. So when there is a shark incident, the shark usually is probably thinking that if they're surfing or if they're in the water splashing around playing, the shark is probably thinking that it's an injured fish or a mammal like a seal or a bird, and so they go up and what they're doing is tasting to see if it's something they can eat. And so that's usually when the bite happens, and they swim away usually because they are saying, nope, this isn't a fish, this isn't a mammal, this isn't a bird, and so they swim away, and that's it. And so that's when